Hello and thanks for joining us. The program is Viewpoint and I am Ifunanya Amafili. And today we have in the studio with us Nneka Onwudiwe. Many thanks for being with us. And of course, Marcel Manafa. Thank you so much for being with us. Good. Like you know, what we talk about on Viewpoints are tropical issues. Relationships have always been one person leaves and then both partners come together and then live together in one house. That's how most of us grew up understanding what marriage is meant to be. Today we'll be talking about couples who live apart. And recent statistics has shown in Nigeria especially that there are a lot of people who live in different states, different countries with their spouse. And, you know, I know that you would have experience on that. So let's start with him before we come to you. Because I don't know who is more difficult. As a man, how do you cope? I know your wife is not in the country. You're here in Nigeria. Is she in the country? Yeah. She's in Nigeria. Okay, good. But you're not in the same states. You're in different states. No. So how does it work?
Well, it's not easy, but then you have to cope. She works in Lagos. I'm here in Oka.
Okay.
So what I normally do is I travel at least twice a month.
Okay.
Come to see them, or they come over and stay with me for a while.
Then you go back to Lagos.
Yes. And basically, when they come in, they prepare all my soups, all my stews, all the food.
Okay.
When I go to Lagos,
she would come in and prepare it and then keep it for you here.
Yeah.
So she makes sure that even though she's absent, your feeding is taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay. For you, Nneka, I know your spouse is not in the country. So it's a longer distance. He has the advantage of where he can say, okay, I'm coming back, every 2 weeks, like you said, it works for him. You're like you're going overseas to actually do, so how do you cope?
Mine is a very difficult one. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to survive because of technology.
Okay.
We have FaceTime, we have Facebook, we have WhatsApp, so communication actually is the key.
Okay.
Once you get your partner on board of, your everyday routine,
mm-hmm.
you won't feel the impact. So you wake up in the morning, you call the person, oh, hi honey, good morning, I'm getting the kids ready for school, mm-hmm. we're heading out, make him part of your everyday, routine.
Okay.
The impact, you're minimizing the impact.
Would you agree on that?
Because you feel his presence. You feel like
even though he's absent.
Yes, you have a problem,
so the social media.
I have this problem, he will advise you. Let him be your advisor from afar.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, you guys are still working together but living apart.
You're nodding to that. So that means basically you have a very good, effective communication, with your spouse. But let's talk about intimacy. That's something that it's taken for granted that, couples should do. There's this word I hear say, mancello. So you're like married, but you're not, you're a man, but you're living like a bachelor. A married bachelor. And intimacy is one of the first few things that people feel. For example, you've already said when they come, they cook food, they keep it in the fridge. So all you dish out, you heat up, and you're doing. But what about intimacy? How do you cope with it as a man?
Well, that's how to travel every 2 weeks. Sometimes.
Why are you laughing?
No, we're talking about intimacy now.
Yes, we're talking about it. I'm wondering why she's laughing. So 2 weeks you stay.
But I'm in a very tempting environment.
Okay.
I can't afford to betray my wife
mm-hmm.
or whatever. So every 2 weeks I take my trip.
So that has helped maintain
intimacy the balance.
So what about someone like you that it's far?
Assumption. The couples, they shouldn't assume that somebody is doing something.
Exactly.
Trust one another. Don't assume anything. Set a date to meet. Okay, so I know every July I'm going to the US, so I'm looking forward to that. Everyone is looking forward to that. So once you set that expectation that, okay, I'm going to meet my spouse on so date, I don't think that's a problem,
It's something that is easy to cope.
Yeah, you can actually cope.
Okay, what about the children? Because you all are family people and you have children. And of course, I agree that raising children is not something that should be done by one parent. It's something that should be done by both parents. You spend, as a woman, spend more time with your children because they're here with you. You had to make that conscious decision to bring them back and then be here. And your wife in Lagos has the children. How do you come in and then parent both of them? By being, how do you balance parenting instead of just leaving it to be one person's responsibility alone?
Well, in my case, like she said, through communication, like I run a virtual relationship with my wife, my kids.
Okay.
So like I see them every day via the WhatsApp video call, talk to them, and every single day I get reports of whatever happens to them every day, how they do in school and all that. I get reports every single day. I advise them on the phone or virtually. So it's maintaining a little while. So, but when I come in, I'm abreast already of what's been happening to them. I used to do just the physical hugging and playing with them and all that. That's what I miss a lot.
The social media has helped to
a lot
to bridge
every day.
Yeah.
Let your other partner be, part of your daily routine. Let the man or woman talk to the children every day, get to know what they're doing. Just close that gap. Close it. Make sure everyone is involved. There's communication, and I think
this, couples living apart from each other is a millennium thing. As in, the boom increased. This millennium, yes, and it's going to increase exactly.
because of work. Remember.
I was just going to ask. So, what will be the factor? Why do we have so many people who have spouses in one state or in another country, and then the person is here?
Work.
Work.
Maybe you're a banker and you're transferred to Owerri while your husband is in Oka. It's work.
Yeah.
So predominantly, the major reason that most people would
Purely
for you was
work.
it strictly for
Yes,
financial
well,
gains? I mean, it's better being here than being in Lagos for you.
It was work.
It was work, so it's always a determinant.
You just
Like
have to make that
Commitment. That's right.
Going back home is expensive because you're running two homes. Remember,
I've got 2
your
rents.
wife is on the other end, your husband is on the other end, and you're running two home, paying bills here and there. So that's where you have to come in and have a proper management system that works for both of you.
That works for both
Yes.
couples. Okay, great.
And make sure you capture everything. Her bills, your bills, the children's bills. It's basically communication and using technology
Okay,
to
so
bridge the gap.
we've talked about keeping an effective line of communication open. He also hinted us on how you can make arrangements for feeding and certain other things. Infidelity, it's a huge problem even with couples that live together. People have had issues where they feel one spouse feels the other person is cheating on them. How do you balance the trust issue, especially when you're not in town? For example, like you, Neka, someone you've said, okay, you're looking forward to a whole year before you go see him. So you have a couple of months interval before you travel, even if you're traveling twice twice in the year. And for you, Marcel, you've said, twice in a month. So basically, it means that you have intimacy twice in a month with your spouse before the next visit. How do you build or how do you develop the issue of trust to say that there's nothing going on between, when you're not there?
I think I did meet my wife just like that. We built up a relationship. She knew me before she married me. And the element of trust was built and cemented over these years. So she knew I was in Oka, of all places. I meet girls everywhere. She knew that. I've restrained myself, I've controlled myself, not for the religious aspect, but that the financial aspect. You can't run 2 wives, in quotes.
Okay.
You can't afford to do that.
Okay.
I work so hard to make sure my wife and my kids are comfortable in Lagos, pay their rent, they pay rent in Oka. I can't afford to mess up.
Okay,
And
so that's what grounds you. The fact
Definitely.
that is it just a financial need that okay, I don't want to have extra. I'm already running a high bill,
But
keeping 2 families.
religious, I can't do that.
You just have to put your mind
I
on
can't do that.
put your mind off it and focus, especially the woman. You have the children, so they're keeping you busy. So you just totally put your mind off it and focus on your children. That's it.
Okay.
Just keep yourself
Will it be
occupied.
easier because maybe both of you are in a certain age bracket? So it's easier for you to make this decision. I know, like, the festive season just ended a couple of months back. A lot of young people, young men came into the country, and then there were a lot, the Malay syndrome, you know, a lot of people are waiting for that December marriage. And it does happen. You see young people who now get married, and shortly after that, like a week or two, the spouse is back to where they're going to, which we've all agreed, one of the factors is because of economic reasons, financial reasons. But how do younger people cope with this distance where they don't have as much discipline as maybe people in your age bracket? So for a young girl who's maybe in her 20s, and all of a sudden she had the freedom for a while, then her husband just gets married to her. She hasn't really had the years to build this trust that both of you have spoken about, to build this open kind of communication where they have all the social media platforms to, you know, close the gap. What would be your advice to younger couples?
What I've seen happening now is when these guys come home, get married, before they leave the country, they take the young girl to their mother. So the girl is now living in his house with his parents while he's gone. Okay. So I don't know how that works for them, if that makes, you know, sure the girl is, you know, not doing anything. So that's what I've seen, you know, going on.
You know what? We're going to hold you on this thought, because I want to find out why you marry a woman and keep her in your mother's place and not in your house. But you know what? We'll take a short break now. Do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The program is Viewpoint, and we have in the studio with us Nneka Onwudiwe and Marcel Manafa, and we've been talking about the effects or coping with a partner who doesn't live in the same region where you are. And my name is Ifunanya Mafali. Before the break, you were saying that the younger people, because now I want us to focus on the younger ones, you know, because that's basically what society should be. You take your experience and then build the ones coming behind you. You had said that before the break that the younger ones, when they get married, then they put the wife with the mother's place in the parents' house, like a supervisory role for the husband. What's your take on that? Does it make any sense that one will get married to someone and then, you know, drop the wife with the parents?
Well, I laugh at such. It happens a lot.
It does happen. Surprisingly, this is the first time I'm actually hearing it. Yeah.
It gives them that security, the sense of security that my wife is with my mom, learning from my mom, you know, so it gives them that they're comfortable with that arrangement. Instead of the wife renting a house, living alone, and then he doesn't have track of what.
Let me hear from a man. Let me hear from a man's point of view. Is that what you think? That's what you think it is? But does it make any sense?
It doesn't work that way. The way I feel, some people have very ulterior motives for doing this. Some people I know. Yes. No, apart from that, some people I know that like they come in with tons of money.
Okay.
Go to their village, pick one or two girls, introduce the wife to the family
as the wife,
prospective wife, and all that. They can even go as far as paying for the dowry. After that, you know what happens? The girl is already committed, in quotes.
Yes.
I've got my husband and all that.
Yes.
And of course, she'll be submissive to the husband till he leaves. Even if he takes the girl to the mother
parents,
and then they stay with you. I mean, what is she going to do in the family house?
I wonder. That's why you know. Yes.
If it's right, probably in Calabar also, where I know that I've been trained to look after men. Do you understand? That's a custom.
No, when they take you to the fattening room.
Yeah, fattening room, all that.
Yes.
But in our time, it's not really the way it's supposed to work. The thing, it doesn't guarantee that the girl will not be promiscuous. She doesn't be tied there all 24 hours. She has to go to the market, she has to go out to see friends and all that.
Exactly.
She can do anything outside and come back holy.
That's what I was wondering, what sense it made if you say that the girl is kept in the parents' house, because you can still do whatever you want to do without bringing, even if she was living on her own, she could still, you know, go outside and then. Okay, just before we wrap up the program, what would be your advice? How do people, you know, our age, cope with spouses who don't live with them? And then what's the advice would give to the younger ones who haven't had the experience of life, who haven't had the experience of time long enough together to know each other, how to successfully make their marriages work, even though they live apart?
Whatever works for you, just keep on doing it. Again, the key is communication. You must communicate with your spouse living apart.
Okay.
Close that gap. Feel his presence or her presence every day.
Even though you're not there.
Exactly. Talk to the person, like I said, FaceTime, what have you. Constant communication, that's the key.
Okay, what would you say? Do you think that's enough to sustain?
Well, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Constant communication, visually and through calls and all that, it helps a lot. And the other thing that I find out that I get start getting religious and spiritual. So the distance and all that. I have to keep myself I have to keep a focus, so I don't stray in any way. So I don't miss my mass evening, whatever. I don't. I have societies I belong to in church. I go for meetings regularly. There's no moment I engage myself seriously, and I love films a lot.
Okay.
Even when my wives are, I will film. Even when I get to Lagos to see them, I get to start watching films. Say, well, you guys see your friends.
Okay.
I formed the habit of
So
watching
you have
film
formed the habit
to take my mind away from anything that will distract me.
Okay.
Or steer me away from my family.
So you have used religion to, occupy other. So basically work, then after work,
yes,
religion became your extracurricular activities.
And my best friends are the kids. My best friends are the kids. In fact, they drive me to church thinking about them.
Okay.
I have lots of them. When I go to they want to say, Uncle, they're lovely.
So it just distracts you.
Totally.
And you think that's effective too for a woman?
It is. Yeah, because in my own part, I take work home. So when I leave the office, I'm at home working till midnight. And then when I get up in the morning, I'm in the gym. And then get ready for work. So at the same time, I keep myself busy.
So you just have to fill your day with engagements, activities. So it keeps you focused. Okay, great. The children now, let's talk about, I know we have said it helps when we have all these social media platforms, and then you can have a sense of being in the child's life. Yeah, and the parent is not playing a single role. It looks like it's a dual collective role. Discipline is an issue for children, especially as they start to get to a certain age. And then in most families, it's assumed that the male figure, the head of the family, is the one who's the disciplinarian. I know that time I could get away with almost anything, but once they say, daddy's coming, I'm afraid you're going to behave yourself. So in your absence, where both of you, your people with spouses and the head is not there, the male head is not there, how do we cope with discipline in the family?
Very easy.
Very easy.
Very, very easy.
Very easy. You spank from afar. Does it work?
Give him the phone. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Now. But personally, I'm very blessed. Probably I pray other people are blessed as I am. I have a wonderful wife that's a disciplinarian.
Okay.
She disciplines me.
Okay, she disciplines me.
It's like,
I like that.
I find it very easier. Say, kid, she can take care of everybody, discipline-wise. Then I'll be the one, like you said, you said that you're scared when your father comes, you're scared and all that. Because you put in my own case.
Okay.
They're more scared of my wife.
Okay, she's the disciplinarian, not you.
Who's to go. Okay. That kind of thing now. So it's like, but the main thing, there must be one that's two of you. If two of you are disciplinarians, it becomes a problem for the kid.
Okay.
Do you understand? Exactly. Do you understand? Come up to two dragons in the house. No. Yeah.
So who is the disciplinarian in your family? Is it you? It's not you.
No, it's not me.
So how does it, so that means it's not effective because you stay with the children. So who instills that discipline?
I take away something very important.
But that's discipline too.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way I handle my kids.
Okay.
I take away things that are important to them, and when I say something, I stand. I say this is it. I'm not going back. So I have ways of getting to them, even though their dad is not with me.
And it's very effective in
Yes,
ensuring that.
Yes.
Okay, good. But I don't think, as a person, I don't think I could survive that kind of relationship. It works for certain people. And like for both of you, it has worked for both of you. I'm sure there are other people too, like me, who don't feel it can work. The distance will be a big issue for me because I'm going to say old school, that I feel, we're married. So if you're transferring, why don't we all move? Yeah, so if you're coming to Oka, why don't we all come to Oka? And I'm there with you, and then you help ground me with your presence. So for some people, it could work, but I don't think for someone like me, it's going to be one of the most difficult things that I'll find, I'll have to do, that I have to, okay, I'm on social media platforms every day. It won't give me the essence of what I think a marriage should be. So it's good that people like you are telling people, other people, that it's something worth achieving, and then it's the same kind of family. Yes. Whether you're there or you're not there, you still are grounded. Yeah. You're still intimate. You still have a bond and a cordial relationship with your spouse. A trustworthy relationship with your spouse, whether you're there or not.
It's temporal. It's not
permanent. Yeah.
It's not permanent. It's temporal. So at the end of the day, you're looking at the end date. It's something temporal. So
yeah, but temporal. You've been here. How long have you been here? You've been here for like 3-4 years.
No.
How long?
7 years. 8
That's
years.
temporal. You call 7 years temporal?
Yes, it is. It is.
How long have you been here? Because of 5 years, that's like a lifetime for me. So for 7 years, it's been temporal.
It's difficult in your mind.
I like my. I want to hold my own. You understand? I don't know why.
Circumstances plays a big role.
But 7 years.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this back and forth.
Yeah.
You 5 years, and you've been doing this back and forth.
The benefits. If the benefit outweighs the other one. Yeah.
Is that, of
a
course?
Good question, and then the last question. So that's it. What are the benefits? Does it outweigh all these distractions I'm thinking I can see in my head? What are the benefits?
Benefits. Ordinarily, I don't think any spouse will have to stay away from the other one. Mm-hmm. Ordinarily. Mm-hmm. So benefits come out of circumstances. The point that you don't see. I think it's absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that. Oh. It works in a way. Because
it does.
2 weeks absence and all that. When you come home, everything is special. From the kiss, special food, everything,
Okay.
So that kind of special treatment and affection. It comes up again, and it spices the marriage and makes it longer.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Ordinarily, if I had to stay with my spouse every day for
day
years,
there might be frictions, right?
Pressure from work back home, aggravation from the stress in traffic and all that back home. Start looking at things around the house. But why is this there? Is that a cockroach there? Do you understand? Things are coming up.
You're seeing so many things.
Exactly.
Yes, because
and the condition of the economy is terrible. It gives everybody hypertension in quotes. So you're easily irritable. Everybody's angry, small thing, you're annoyed about things.
So basically,
if you bring it to your home, it destroys the family. So that's the business advantage of staying away. You can discuss about how bad the economy is over the phone. You'll be crying, they'll be crying and all that. We know that things are okay. But to take care of your family, finance-wise or whatever-wise, economy is something that affects everybody else, even Dangote. So I don't think that should be a problem. But when you are in the midst of your family, it's to get the economy away from the family. Remove the traffic stress, the work stress, the pressures of work and everything, remove from the family, or you destroy the structure of the family. Okay. The bond that is there, you weaken it. So when you stay away, it's a lot, it builds up itself. Like I say, when I get to Lagos, everything I eat, everything is special.
Yes, because they know they just have it for a short while.
Exactly.
So they want to utilize that.
They've been pampering me and all that. I'll be pampering them too. So it's the love is just resurgent.
You're nodding like yes. You agree too that absence does make the heart grow fonder. And it helps solidify the marriage. I suppose being, in your face all the time, 24 hours, with all my moods, my tantrums, you have to deal with it. That's but when you go and you come back, there's some kind of excitement.
That's right,
Love. Anyway, we're going to end the program now, right? We're wrapping up the program. So I want to thank both of you for making out time to be our guest, and it's been very informative. One man's meat, I would always tell you, is another man's poison. So it works for both of you. So we must commend you because it can't be, very easy keeping both families. But for me, I doubt if it would. I should come to both of you for lessons.
Counseling, yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you.
Well, we've come to the end of Viewpoint. Many thanks for being with us. I'm Ifunanya Amafili.